How's it going, guys? I'm Paper Cut to you with PlanetDestiny, and this was Christmas. There goes all my money. So if you can relate, it's time to make some back. And I don't want to sound like a pop-up ad here, but I'm actually going to show you the best way to make Glimmer. This is going to get you over 25,000 per hour. And it's not going to be in any new spot, it's still in the exclusion zone, but I'm going to show you a unique build that gets you a little bit more. And before I get right into the video, I want you guys to understand that I actually went through all the other farming areas. I went through the exclusion zone, I went through the vault hard mode where the hive are awoken, that's the dark beyond, and the new DLC strike as well, and those averaged at around 18,000 to 20,000 every hour. This clip right here is of the normal way to do it. This is when you clear out all the ads, go off to the right, and then they all come to you, and then you get killed by the last Centurion. And that's the kind of strategy that's going to net you about 18 to 20,000. Now what I'm going to show you here is the build. Speed is going to be useful. Now this is actually unique to the Blade Dancer. I think you can still get the same effect with the Titan, but you're not going to be able to get the second wave, and you're going to see what I mean a little bit later. This is very important, having the heavy ammo armor, anything that's going to get you more of that, as well as expect to find more ammo perk on any rocket launcher. I've seen people go in there with Gallo horns, with Truths. You don't really actually need that kind of firepower. What you actually just need is rockets. These guys are not that tough. If you have any way to get extra speed, go ahead and do that. Also drop your armor. You can use that time to level it up. So you can take note of all the numbers here. You can see how much money I have, and we're going to go through a 10-minute run. And what makes this strategy different is that it accounts for times when you don't have rockets to still maximize each run. This way is going to show you how to do it, and the reason I'm going to play out the full 10 minutes is so you can get a hang of when you actually want to do certain things. Obviously, when you have your super, you're going to use it right away. It's going to give you an opportunity to try to get some more drops for your rocket. At the beginning, I've already been doing this for a while, and that's when I noticed that the Blade Dancer with his spinning ability can actually clear out both lines before they spread if you can get in there fast enough. And this just maximizes your runs, and the reason for that is because not only is it almost as fast as using rockets, it lets you conserve rockets, and that's really the main backbone of this strategy. So when you don't have rockets, that's when you sometimes want to start killing some of the red ads. And remember, when you're going up close to them, it's not a bad idea to try to take a couple shots. It's a good way to steal out a little bit more glimmer out of each run. It also gives you an opportunity to pick up more rockets. The other things about the run, if you haven't noticed, I also have one of those fusion grenades, ones that are sticky. Those are the ones that you can just throw at your feet and try to kill yourself. So when you have a rocket, what you want to do is aim it for when they're still in the ship for the first wave. The second wave that drops down, you want to just aim it at their feet before they jump away. So the faster you get them out, the better you're going to be. Now when they start spreading out, it's actually not too bad to go off to the left there, and you can mostly pick them off. I found that going into the middle of them was actually a lot faster if you have a good fusion rifle. So you can see that I don't have any grenades. This is when you go on the hunt. As they're gang raping you, that's when you want to just try to take some cheap shots, get a little extra glimmer, and maybe a drop. Nothing there, but that's going to be offset by the fact that you now have your super, and you're going to be using that like your next rocket launcher while looking for rockets. Now this may be a little bit redundant, but that's the way that farming is. However, it's still going to save you a lot of time. It may be redundant, but it's going to end up giving you exactly what you need without having to go out in inefficient ways to get it. So if you actually need something that's best to farm, we have other farming videos for materials if you want to check those out, and you guys can be efficient there and then get to actually playing the game. And this is an average that you guys are going to be able to hit consistently. If you didn't notice there, all the guys were spread out, so I just decided to grenade myself. My health was already low enough that I knew that I could take myself out, and that's a good way to end a run as soon as you take out some yellows. So if you don't have to worry too much about taking hits from these guys, when you don't have anything, you can still go right up to them, and you don't have to worry too much about your health. It helps to just strafe a little bit and take some hops. Now this is a key decision here, to grab the heavy ammo and just scrap the run, because there's really no benefit to it at that point. It's going to be a lot faster to run out there with the rockets and just doing it in a completely new run. It's a way to be efficient. When guys scatter, that's when you usually want to abandon it. If you have a grenade, throw it at your feet. So having the rockets, it makes it so easy. Watch this easy run, short hop, and another shot. You can see with this yellow that tries to always get away, and if you miss him, he usually ends up going on to the left of where I am right now, which is the right side when you come in. So once you get rockets, that's a completed run. I even contemplated just shooting one rocket right at my feet to kill myself, but instead I ran into one of the Cabal shields. And if you're trying to get killed by Cabal, it helps to run up to them. Their melee attacks do a lot of damage. They also have a chance to just whip you across the map, which is always cool. I don't mind losing time when I see something like that happen. Now remember, when you have rockets, everything is good. You hit them exactly like you're gonna see me hit them now, but what I failed to do was actually use my super when I had it. That's how you get the most out of these runs, but you're gonna be able to get some leeway here. As long as you make some pretty good decisions in 10 minutes, you're gonna be averaging around 4,300 every 10 minutes. So if you only need 5,000, this is something you can go do. It's the length of how long your consumable lasts. So if that's all the money you need, you can come do this. However, if you do it for a whole hour, you're actually gonna be making around 26,000, and that's without the consumable. Those are going to be random, so you can't really account for them. But look at how you can use the Blade Dancer here. Sometimes they do scatter and you can just use your ability to kill them. So I have rockets at this point. I just want to die. I've had a good run. I still have rockets. I don't have to get too greedy. I still try to take some pot shots at guys. Remember, if you can kill any extras, that's always a good idea. Don't just stand there when they're beating you up. Just throw a couple shots in there as well. So you're going to see a lot of the same just keep happening. I'm going to let it play through. I want to tell you guys a little bit about the Vault of Glass. So when I ran it last time, I ran it with one other person, and there was a bunch of things you had to do. I actually went on the forums. I went on our site in order to find somebody who had the checkpoint. These are things that you guys can do as well on any of the sites like Reddit. You guys can go on PlanetDestiny. You guys can go on LFG. These are the best places to find pretty much any checkpoints that you need. And for the hard mode Vault of Glass, if you finished it, you don't have the checkpoint. If you're before it, you don't have the checkpoint. You specifically have to go there, change characters if you wanted to pull the checkpoint for yourself. So it's usually better to just go get it like that. But long story short, I found that we can do around 18,000 to 20,000 between two of us. So I'd imagine if you had more people, that would be actually a great place to farm as well. But the downside is that you actually need all these people. You need the checkpoints. So it's not that efficient because you have to waste a lot of time getting a group. However, I'd like to actually see how much a group could get there with all the right weapons, strong weapons, maxed out weapons. But we're just about done here. I'm going to see that timer there. We had about 45 seconds left, so this is going to be the last run. And then we're going to get the grand total, and that you guys are going to see that it ends up being around 26,000. So you guys are easily going to max out in an hour if you guys just follow a lot of these tips. So the last thing that we're going to be covering is the Black Wax Idol. This was one of those places that actually also nets you around 18,000 every hour. And the reason for that is because at times you're going to get your run slowed down because when the ship comes from above, the guys don't respawn, so you have to go clear it. Sometimes you'll actually have to go underneath the building all the way to the other side and then clear that side before they'll respawn on the bottom. And these are the kind of things that can slow down your run. That's why the average ends up being around 18,000. But the benefits of this run is that you're getting more Black Wax Idol where you were not getting any before, obviously because they were Cabal enemies. The second thing is that if you have an Ares bounty for the Sword of Crota, you can actually do a 2-for-1 deal where you not only kill the guy with the sword every few minutes, you're also going to be able to get your Black Wax and your, well, possibly Ascendant Energy. You're also going to be getting that 18,000 per hour Glimmer. So it's a really good spot. What you want to take into account when you're choosing the spot that you're looking to farm is what else do you need, because certain areas give you certain things. The Vault of Glass actually gives you the most drops, like the Axiom beads, if you wanted to store them in your bank. If you wanted to do some Ares bounties, this place is great. It gets you the Black Wax, the 18,000 per hour, as well as you can do your bounties. Now I always want to give this place honorable mentions where you awaken the hive. It's the best place to just do a bunch of bounties. You will net about 16,000 per hour here, so it's not that good. The last tip I want to give people is to actually use your consumables when you're playing strikes. That's when you want to start putting it in. You know the high traffic areas by now. For all you Christmas people, you will learn the new levels. You're going to see where the guys come out of, and when you know a certain kind of enemy is going to be rushing you, that's a good time to pop one of your consumables and get extra Glimmer. You can do this for all the factions. They all have a specific consumable that they drop and that you use on them or use when you're fighting them. Sometimes there's actually areas where there'll be two factions and you actually want to pop two consumables to get them as much Glimmer as possible. And you're going to see that we're going to get this counter almost to 500, so this is a good way to just pick up extra Glimmer. Remember to use those. But that's it for me. I hope you guys got something out of these tips. Some paper cut to you with PlanetDestiny, and I'll see you guys next time.